I think there's some technical difficulty.
Okay. All right. Just a
I'm
minute.
doing a work session. I want to get it.
What is that presentation he's proposing?
He just got a couple pictures of the like.
How are you? Good.
That sounds triggering. Yeah.
Especially here.
Positive way, yeah. Supposed to be one.
I think Poppy should pay me.
Yeah, exactly. Just to give some beach thing results. Those Sagaponic pulled back on.
They did?
Yeah, that's what one of the neighbors
I
said.
didn't hear what you said. What?
The Gibson, the Gibson Beach. So you're getting those emails. One of the neighbors said that Sagaponic changed their mind. You've read this?
Well, I think that
It's
there was,
minutes. Maybe that's really that.
no,
know
and they
about it.
also had people in the community that say they were friends of town residents, and realizing their friends can't meet each
Yeah,
other
right.
anymore, so they're not
That's what this guy was saying. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Oh, then that's the one I read, but I don't think he was saying that they were friends, he said that they had promised that they
Why don't
would.
I respond to him? He reached out to me.
Oh, okay.
Chris, and I responded to him, and he responded back to me. No, I heard that.
Okay, yeah.
So, I haven't heard it before. Okay,
That vote is trustees. It's theirs though.
It's on, no, it's just a resolution.
Yeah. He was
How much
a couple
is
of
this?
which segment you
Because their facilities, I asked Chris.
Yeah, we own it. We
We
own
were
it.
doing this blog that came up, and it was, we couldn't get any of the beaches because the trustees had the road ends, right? And then the
This is the little corner here. Remember, like when Jay was over talking about it, I'm like, and he's
Thank
yeah,
you.
because Mike Mark project manager.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the guy who does it now. Jim. Set up over here.
It's good.
It's got like right here. It's got a covered
Oh my
patio.
lord.
Wow.
I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. Okay, all right.
It's like nice.
Okay, so Kevin, you ready for us to get started? Oh, great, okay. We are on the clock today. All right. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, welcome back. Would you please call the roll?
Thank you. Supervisor Moore,
Present.
Councilwoman McNamara.
Here.
Councilman Iacili.
Here.
Councilman Pell.
Present.
Councilman Scavone.
Present.
All right, let's start with our review of the draft agenda.
It's 39 full agenda.
We've-
39. Something going on there. I went up to
We've got, how many?
It's in the-
5 public hearings that'll be coming up next week. One is to consider amending Town Code 330-10B8 to correct a typographical error in the table of use regulations as it relates to schools for the intellectually disabled. The second public hearing is for a deed of dedication of open space in connection with the final conditional approval of the Rotham Dynasty subdivision in the hamlet of Watermill. The third public hearing is to consider amending Southampton Town Code, Chapter 298, to amend Article 8 to authorize an exemption for the creation of new accessory dwelling units within the town. The fourth public hearing is to consider amending Town Code Chapter 312 to amend parking time limited in designated locations regulations and adding parking prohibited in designated locations regulations on a portion of Corwith Avenue in Bridgehampton. The fourth public hearing is to consider amending Town Code 330-210 of Article 22 as it relates to the placement of signs.
At public hearing number 1, it says to correct a typographical error. It's actually a change in the name. It's not a typo. It's, you know, we changed from an antiquated name to for schools for intellectually disabled. So if we could drop typographical error or to change the name on that, that would be appreciated.
Revise or update the language.
We can?
Was noticed.
Okay. That's fine.
It's
We'll
been
do it in the
advertised.
public hearing and make sure
Yeah.
that people know we want it to move forward.
But that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. And we will make it. Okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead with the resolution reviews.
Hey, Jim, this first one, is this supposed to be tabled?
Yeah.
The first one? First one.
Town Board
Oh,
Resolution
that.
2024-1068, and we'll table that again.
Okay.
For a work session or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Town Board Resolution ID number 47274 to authorize purchases and installation fencing with residential fences Corp. Using Suffolk County contract and Eastern Suffolk BOCES contract. Town Board
We
Resolution.
skip this
Oh,
one.
did I?
474.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47374 to authorize purchases of artificial turf using Suffolk County contract with the Land Tech Group, Inc. and Laser Industries, Inc.
Town Board Resolution ID 47456, authorize supervisor to sign contract with L.K. McLean Associate Engineer and Survey DPC to provide professional engineer service for the traffic study at the intersection of Lemon Lane at Maple Lane and Lemon Lane at Narrow Lane in Bridgehampton.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47460 to authorize the supervisor to sign a contract with N&P Engineering, Architecture, and Land Surveying PLLC to provide professional services for a traffic assessment all-way stop control at Scuttle Hole Road and Cooks Lane.
Supervisor, I'd like to be co-sponsor. I brought this forward. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay.
Got it.
Town Board Resolution 47091, sponsored by the whole board, authorize supervisor to sign agreement with trustees in order to implement trustee budget proceed of the January 1, 2025, pursuant to Article 107, New York State Town Law.
We're gonna be reviewing this.
Yes. Town Board Resolution 47518, authorize an award of the 2024 notice of proposal for professional engineer design service for the Watermill Passage to L.K. McLean Associate Engineer and Survey. That's a fish ladder in Watermill. Town Board Resolution 47382, authorize Justice Court to apply for grant funding to support Justice Court operation through the New York State Infra Court System of 2024 to 2025 Justice Court Assisted Program.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47397 to authorize the purchases of public safety communications equipment from Integrated Wireless Technologies LLC. Town Board Resolution ID number 47396 to authorize the purchases of public safety communications equipment from Motorola Solutions, Inc. Town Board Resolution ID number 47471, co-sponsored with Councilwoman McNamara, to authorize the supervisor to execute a contract amendment with Edward Wolfersdorf to assist with the review of backlog permit plans in the Department of Land Management.
Town Board Resolution ID 47464, authorize the supervisor to execute a donation agreement for the installation of a fitness station at Boston Memorial, Long Beach.
I'd like to co-sponsor.
Myself too, please.
Okay.
Town Board Resolution 47485, authorize supervisor to execute an agreement with James Wilson to assist the Highway Department with backlog flood inspection for the highway, determination of the new construction and monitor of the compliance of the state, corp, and private contractors, utility companies, and project involved in the town of Southampton roads.
I'd like to co-sponsor that, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47500, authorizing the supervisor to execute an indemnification and hold harmless letter for Riverhead Central School District for a Youth Bureau after-school program.
Town Board Resolution ID 47516, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli. Authorize the supervisor to execute any and all documents with RecTrack LLC, DB Vermont Systems for their RecTrack software to manage the town's operations for parks and recreation. Should be DBA.
Yeah.
Got it.
Town Board Resolution 47474, co-sponsor with Councilman Pell, to authorize the supervisor to sign a contract extension for awards of Community Preservation Fund, CPF, 20% water quality improvement project funds for the Village of Southampton.
Town Board Resolution 47493, also co-sponsored with Councilman Scavone, authorize supervisor to sign a no-cost contract extended for the 2022 award Community Preservation Fund, 20% water quality improvement project funds. Another one? I passed it. Just did. This one.
47467 on the top. of
Page 30, top of page 30. Bill.
Oh, yes, right, yeah, right. It's not colored in for me. Town Board Resolution 47467, also co-sponsored with Councilman Scavone, recall amend Town Board Resolution 2024-885, authorize supervisor to sign a contract to send award Community Preservation Fund of 20% quality water improvement project fund for the Cornell Cooperative Extension.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47502 to recall and, co-sponsored with Councilman Scavone, to recall and amend Town Board Resolution 2024-937, authorizing the supervisor to execute a 2024 renewal with Bentley Systems, Inc. for the ProcureWare cloud-hosted software solution to manage the town's operations for bidding and contracts.
That's okay, thank you.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47422, the 2024 notice to bidders for heavy-duty truck parts, Class 5-8 trucks.
Town Board Resolution 47453, central purchase and contract compliance. Notice of bidders for Bay Drive bulkhead rehabilitation.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47503, the allocation of ARPA's coronavirus federal grant for wastewater management equipment. And I know, Bill, you wanted to just check on one thing, so see if
Yes.
you could get that done by Tuesday
Yes.
on the cost. All right.
Between today and tomorrow.
350,000.
It's the leftover ARPA money.
We wanna make sure we spend it wisely.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47501 to amend the 2024 budget for various departments. Town Board Resolution ID number 47392 to authorize closure of capital projects. Town Board Resolution ID number 47394 to authorize the expenditure from restricted accounts for the Windsor Hart project.
Town Board Resolution
Oops, wait, I got one here. Town Board Resolution ID number 47506 to authorize the town to reimburse New York Municipal Insurance reciprocal the deductible for liability and property damage claims.
Town Board Resolution 46730, resolution to adopt amend and tax season parking restriction on Mount Laura Lane, Tuckahoe.
Did we, I know we had, where did we have did we have a work session and a public hearing on this?
Yes. The public hearing was closed, and they got the stuff back from the county.
Oh, they did.
What was the test from the county? What does that mean? Test from the
They
county?
just looked at it and they said it was fine for us to put no parking on one side, on both sides of the street going up.
Well, the question was about Sandy Hollow Road,
Yeah.
a road that gets, well, I guess
And
we'll
they
talk
said
about it
they're
in the
not
meeting.
doing anything to Sandy
No,
Hollow.
they're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything.
Town Board Resolution 47454, resolution to adopt amendment Town Code 123-25 with respect to road review requirements.
Town Board Resolution ID 47387, resolution of adoption to amend sign code 330-210.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47473 to authorize the sale of a town-owned .90 fractional Pine Barren credit.
Town Board Resolution ID 47447, waive showmobile fee for East Quogue Fire Department Annual Seafood and Beer Festival, which will be this Saturday evening. Town Board Resolution ID 47345, co-sponsored with Councilman Iacilli, authorization of cost reimbursement waiver for the Hampton Bays Fire Department Turkey Trot 5K on November 28th, 2024 from 7:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47457 to appoint a hearing officer. Town Board Resolution ID number 47449 to appoint Sylvia Sullivan to administrative assistant position in Human Resources to fill a vacancy. Town Board Resolution ID number 47437 to create position of accountant in the Comptroller's Office and appoint Tyler Wist. Town Board Resolution ID number 47440 to appoint Matthew Mazzella to Environmental Technician in Land Management. Fill a vacancy. Town Board Resolution ID number 47368 to appoint Candace Brambley to Records Retention Manager in the Town Clerk's Office. Town Board Resolution ID number 47439 to appoint Marjorie Riley to Senior Building Inspector in the Building Department to fill a vacancy. Town Board Resolution ID number 47517 to authorize Municipal Works Director to sign a stipulation of agreement.
Town Board Resolution 47442, authorizing the Youth Bureau Director to attend the Association of New York State Youth Bureau Directors training.
Town Board Resolution 47.
We skipped
Oh,
one,
did I
one
skip?
on the bottom, Maria.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47482 to terminate an employee in the Justice Court.
Town Board Resolution 47475, co-sponsored with Councilwoman McNamara, Councilmember Iacilli. Notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of 6C Squires Pond Road in the hamlet of Hampton Bays and to amend the CPF project plan and CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47520, co-sponsored by the entire board to have a notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of 27 Tiana Circle in the hamlet of Hampton Bays and to amend the CPF project plan and CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property. Town Board Resolution ID number 47476, also co-sponsored by the entire board, for a notice of public hearing to consider the acquisition of land at 65 Old Riverhead Road in the hamlet of Hampton Bays, and to amend the CPF project plan and the CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property.
Town Board Resolution 47443, a notice of public hearing for the proposed allocation of community development block grant funds for the year 2025.
Town Board Resolution 47508. Notice of public hearing, consider grant license agreement to John Dunn and West Robin Oyster Company, the use of the portion of Conscious Point Marina and further the aquaculture activity.
I'd like to co-sponsor.
I would as well, Cindy.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47451, road review application for Paramount Development Group, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-377.00-01.00-018.002 and 018.003 situated at Quiog is accepted.
Town Board Resolution 47505, co-sponsored with Councilman Pell, to accept, award, and authorize the supervisor to sign any and all documents pertaining to the New York State Consolidated Funding Grant Award for the Alewife Creek Habitat Enhancement Project.
And then there's some add-ons. Town Board Resolution ID number 47507, to amend the 2024-2028 capital program and add capital project Poxabog Golf Center improvements.
Cindy, can I be added to that?
And Town Board Resolution ID number 47514, to amend the 2024-2028 capital budget for Hampton Bays Water District SCADA System Upgrade Project.
Cindy could be added to that as well.
Me too.
Myself too.
Just add the whole board.
Town Board Resolution ID number 47521, to authorize the acquisition of 867 Millstone Road in the hamlet of Noyak, New York, and to amend the CPF management and stewardship plan to include the property. Town Board Resolution ID number 47522, to authorize the acquisition of 180 and 182 Red Creek Road in the hamlet of Hampton Bays, New York, and amend the CPF management plan and stewardship plan to include the property.
Could you- Could you add me to that too, please?
You're
I
on
think
it.
we're on the, yeah, the whole board's on it. And then Town Board Resolution ID number 47525, to recall and amend Town Board Resolution 1430 of 2023 as it relates to the use of Suffolk County American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, funds in furtherance of the Riverside Sewer District.
I'd like to co-sponsor that one, so.
The last one?
That last.
Okay. Okay, so next we have a presentation on the Dog Patch Bandits. And Kristen Dulos, our Director of Parks and Rec, is here, and Drew Harvey from the Dog Patch Bandits.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Would you like to introduce it?
Sure, this is Drew Harvey. Drew Harvey is
Thank you.
the principal of the Dog Patch Bandits. It's a not-for-profit organization. And I'd like to ask Drew to tell us some of the other projects that you all have been involved in. Essentially, you raise money and then give it back to the community in ways that would benefit the community. So,
Yeah, exactly. The nonprofit it's kind of all about fitness to support mental health is the primary objective. like as pertains to this specific project, this equipment and the installation of this equipment, we have 11 other projects up, 6 of which are on Long Island. 2 local public ones are at Pearson High School and at Fisk Field in Shelter Island. So it's kind of a tried and true model that the public likes. It holds up very well, and it's very easy for us to install and very low maintenance on the part of the town, municipality, or facility that has it. And for this project, we're obviously teaming up with the Southampton Parks and Rec Department. We're donating it to the town of Southampton for use at Long Beach Foster Memorial Park.
And for this, a lot of our constituents who regularly walk Long Beach, they've asked for some kind of like little fitness equipment or like some things that they could stop and do other exercises besides walking. I've had a number of people request that, so this kind of fits in nicely with those requests.
Yeah, I think Long Beach is one of like the recreational centers of the town of Southampton, especially for residents of Sag Harbor, Noyak, North Haven, etc. So just having another resource for them at Long Beach, I think it's just a net positive for the public. And Kristen, you guys speak on that.
Yeah, no, I agree, and just a little more history. Drew was actually a lifeguard for the town of Southampton, and grew up in Sag Harbor area, went to Pearson High School, and I know that one of the reasons why you guys started this group was because one of our former lifeguards had some struggles, and it was sort of born out of that, if I'm correct.
Yeah, former Lieutenant Mike Semkis, also a teacher at Sag Harbor Schools, passed away from a drug overdose a number of years ago. Very prominent figure in the community, idol to a lot of people, and I think it's just important to push fitness to support mental health. Youths coming up in the community, oftentimes you hear there's nothing to do, there's no resources for them. I think by opening things up, we do a great job at preserving water access, encouraging swimming, ocean access, and then more fitness and outdoor recreation resources are a good way for people to channel energies and kind of get a positive outlet in the community, as opposed to going down that negative path of substance abuse. So that was definitely the catalyst for the founding of the nonprofit.
Yeah, and I think I agree so strongly with the synergy between mental health and physical wellness. And Long Beach is unique in that it's a mile-long stretch, contiguous stretch of bayfront beach, and it has a paved parking area that runs that whole stretch, and people can be seen exercising, walking, running on it 365. So it's not just a seasonal facility there. So this would be a nice element to add to that, to round out the fitness that goes on there. So what we were looking at, we had looked at a few proposed locations on the site, which you could see marked out on the upper left-hand location map where those actual proposed locations are. In vetting this site in person and speaking with Councilman Scrivoni, who's been involved along the way, and in sending it to the Noyak Civic Council, we've all decided that we believe proposed location number 1 is the best spot for the installation. So that's our current plan, and it would.
Now, Kristen, I understand that the Noyak Civic Council actually got these photos and the locations, and
yes,
they're intimately familiar with the area, and they vetted this themselves in their own internal processes.
Right. This exact site map was sent to them. And it will consist of a dip station and pull-up bars.
Mm-hmm. And a push-up area. And the beauty of it is it's a designated workout area. So now you'll find people just in the middle of the parking lot doing squats or bringing some sort of equipment down. And this is it's a safe area, it's a controlled area. People can bring workout bands, and they have now a designated space to perform those workouts that they want to do.
This is also in the vicinity of a comfort station and the lifeguard office. There's also a lifeguard stand set up nearby in the center.
And forgive me if you've already mentioned this, and this would be year-round? or just in the summer?
Yes, yeah, so the equipment is permanently installed. So, you know, the lifespan of this is 20 years plus. It's galvanized steel, semi-concrete, very low maintenance, as I said, so this would be open to the public year-round.
Okay.
Designed to stand up to the elements.
Exactly.
They get elements down there.
Yeah,
That's-
and it's all school-grade equipment from the manufacturer, so all installed to specifications by them. So it's kind of the highest, like, safety grade as well. Like I said, it's installed at Pearson High School.
So this is the parking lot right here.
Yes,
And this is
114.
114.
Uh,
And then
Long
you,
Beach Road, County
Yes.
Road
Or Long Beach
79.
Road, Right.
and then you're gonna, this is, I think there's a gate here now.
Correct.
So you're gonna leave the gate here up, or?
Yes. And
maybe-
they're actually gonna restore some plantings behind the fitness station,
You gonna
just to
leave-
add more buffer.
Yeah. Are you gonna leave a path to go through here?
No, that's not the current plan. We had looked at doing that.
Because a lot of people walk here.
Oh, you're not
Right.
doing the alternate proposed location one?
No,
Oh.
proposed location one. There are about 5 or 6 accesses into the beach.
Yeah.
So this one,
They've been closed since 2020.
correct? Yeah, we've been locking those gates
I
for the
know.
past several years, except for the main access
Yeah.
gate.
Christine, is it? I'm sorry, Bill.
Go ahead.
You're
So-
asking.
No,
You
that's
finish.
good. No, you go. You're in a rush. It's your thing.
Well, I
I'm
can
in
just,
no rush.
I can just jump
Please
in real
continue,
quick.
Councilman
No,
Powell.
that's all right.
We, you know, my personal recommendation when I initially got these plans was proposed location one, alternate, because I believe in pedestrian access.
Yeah, it looks
Um,
good to me.
But, you know, I think the group consensus with the input of the NOAC Civic Council was to go with proposed location one. The scope of work is the same for us. The equipment is the same. So I think part of this work session is also like if there's any overwhelming input that you guys have or questions about location one, you know, now's the time to
Mhm.
discuss it.
So there are 6 entrances to Long Beach, and this would be one that would be closed off. So the thought that I had, Councilman Pell, was as far as this grass area, can we restore a piece of the dune there? A concern I would have is somebody turning into this curb cut and
Yeah.
just making a bad choice.
So
That's why the alternate looks good because it creates a bike path to go, and I'm sure you put a bike rack at the end, and then
So
Maybe
this
it's a
was
workout.
our sketch of, and like I said, like we're proposed location one is totally fine with us.
Mhm.
This is what we had. If you just want to pass that down. So any part of where the pavement is going to be cut, we've got Southampton Excavation donating all of the services for that, which is fantastic. So they're prepared to do all of that excavation work and replace it with clean sand. So there is a way in location one and location one alternate, anywhere where the pavement is cut will be replaced with clean sand, and then Summerhill Landscaping will install dune grass plugs. So it really is also a dune grass restoration project, which I think is great. You've got quite a bit of pavement that is just sitting there that is not really going to be used, what I've been told. So it'd be great to restore it to more of a naturalized area as well.
I like the bike path with the bike rack because I think people bike down there all the time and they could totally park their bike and do their upper body workout and then get back on their bike and continue on their merry way.
yeah, I'm not sure why the community would have indicated otherwise, but this.
Was there a reason why they
I'd
wanted
have to
that?
look back at the email that they sent, but there were some.
Because there are
Like, I think this
5
is great.
other entrances. This isn't the entrance.
But this would just be
Doesn't
bikes.
matter.
No, I understand. And bikes can get in, the 2 other entrances, which are a couple hundred yards away each on either side. So I'm assuming that's why they chose this, to make it a dedicated area for this purpose and just close off this one completely and not cloud the issue, because it does have a curb cut, and like I said, I'm kind of concerned that people might turn in with
That
a
would
car.
be my major concern.
Right,
is
and they
driving
won't
with the
do that
car
with
still.
alternate one. They can't do that, right?
That's
So, I mean, you're eliminating that risk as well.
You'd really have to choke it off, I think, because people drive over the curb there and drive in. They drive in the other side. People will do crazy things. So if we were to go with this, I think it would have to be like bollards
Yeah,
or a big
bollards.
rock here or something that really chokes off that entrance because
We're going to have the county remove the curb cut.
That's what I was trying to say before I was interrupted.
Yeah.
If you could go straight across, remove the thing, have Steve from Southampton, that's because they give you a nice big rock.
And he would. So
Yeah.
I've shared all of these options with
And then,
Steve.
then maybe
Yeah.
keep this little space here, put a bench there, and then have a path, because I
A
see it.
pedestrian path. Okay.
Yep.
make
You
it
do
again
here.
narrow.
Yeah,
Well,
do
yeah.
a narrow path.
I mean,
That
what
way,
is
because it's a long walk, and I see people sitting, stretching against the rocks. I drive that road all the time,
Mhm.
and I see, actually want to do something nice for Fred, and where he can rest there.
But
Yeah,
what
thanks.
is this all supposed to be grass, this dune grass replaced with little X's?
So each of these options was produced by the Parks and Recreation team. So
I mean, are people
I-
supposed to walk through the grass then to get to the exercise
I-
equipment?
No, they would have to get in from the inside of the park
yeah,
in this option.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said leave a path.
but I do think because we're doing this work, we could have some sort of pedestrian path somehow that it's safe, it's very restricted. But I think that's kind of what we're talking about. We're very open to what's best for the public and what the trustees want, what the council members want.
What, are you gonna put bike rack down at the end then? I mean, or before the walking path?
There is.
I mean,
there are
people
That
are
programs-
that
gonna ride their
drawing
bikes.
is like, to me, ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will just say I do like proposed location one alternate, as it is indicated. I think that it just makes more sense. I don't like that this
Sorry.
is.
It's so
No,
blocky and then,
This is why we're here.
I also don't like that this is blocked off.
Yeah.
I think that we want to demonstrate that there's access,
Yeah.
even though we don't want people driving. I think there's things that we might be able to do, but this to me is I don't know, and I'm a little. I would hate to go against what the Civic wants too. I mean, if the Civic really likes this, but
this is
I
what
mean,
they chose
it
after
seems
they.
as though you're inviting cars to turn into that and then,
Well, you can choke this up.
Well, I
Well, I
would
was
keep
gonna-
the gate here. I would
Yeah.
keep the existing gate where it is.
Right, and Bill
That option.
suggested a rock. I suggested a dune, sand, so
And-
that, and then eventually go to the county and have it removed completely. And we have plenty of access to the beach. What would a bike path do to the cost of it? I mean, I don't believe that the bike path was part of your.
Leave that as
Well,
well.
what's
You know, I
interesting about it is it's actually would not increase the cost because we would,
We would just cut-
be leaving the asphalt
Mhm.
and then actually just cutting a nice edge on it. Something that Steve Mesneski said would be relatively easy to do. But we would be putting bollards and then we would suggest making it very tight at the roadside. So it's very clearly a bike path. A car cannot
Go
turn
through
in
it. Yeah.
So
to this.
Seems like
how
it would
would the, I'm sorry, how would the curb cut then be handled? Right, there are curbs that angle in from the county road. And so, and this may not be a question for you, it's more for Kristen, where we would be moving that in. Do we then need to bring in the county to do that work? Or can we take those curbs out and cut that asphalt down to size the way we want it? Which I'm fine with if we can do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure the answer on that. I'd have to revisit the layout of how it currently is. I mean, there is an existing cut there
Mhm.
because it was an access. So I
Right,
don't.
for a car, 2 cars.
Right. So, you're suggesting that a curb would have to get installed there?
Well, the way that this shows, it shows that we would be planting, in alternate one, we would be planting grass where concrete curbs currently exist.
Oh,
And I just wanted to stay away from all of that.
Yeah.
That's why I like not alternative for location one, because we can kind of keep it the way it is, and then make this installation go to the county later and have that removed. But I understand the board's desire here to have a bike lane, I think it's a good idea.
I think it'll
Lots of
get
good
more
ideas.
use because on proposed location one, only the people already on the beach could use it, but on the alternate,
Yeah.
anybody riding their bike along the road can just pull in, use it, and then continue
How
to
about,
sit on Fred's bench.
yeah, how about this? Put a big rock in the middle, okay? Then do like an exit ramp.
Right.
Another exit ramp here, so if they're on a bicycle, they can, or walking, they can come here, go this way.
Yeah, I think that's you know, you would link the bike path that already exists on the county road in and then out as
Yeah.
well, and have a substantial barrier where
Yeah,
cars
put
cannot enter.
either put a, barrier or
Like a
big rock.
bollard or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
2 bollards or a rock.
Yeah.
I-
Rock would go more in the scenery there.
I think that's a good suggestion. Yeah.
You definitely wanna choke it off.
So just so everyone knows, like we do have architects on the team. We got licensed contractors, so I think the ability to do it all is there.
Oh, I'm sure.
We're prepared to cover the costs of it, and we've got some great contractors that are willing to donate a lot of the services, which is huge. Which is why I definitely want to do a contributors plaque
Yeah.
on a rock, including
That'd be
the
good.
town of Southampton, council members and all that, Parks and Rec, everyone that contributed to the project.
That would be
Very
nice.
generous of
Yeah.
your group to
Yeah.
donate the
The
equipment.
group does nice work. I know you do nice work.
Thank you.
I think it's great. I mean, we're doing a fitness pad, an outdoor fitness pad at the Marine Park in Hampton Bays.
Oh, very cool.
And that came as a that suffer from sensory disorders and they can't go into a gym because it's just too overwhelming. So we thought an outside place on the canal where there's nothing really else there, so they can just go and use the equipment, and it would also be obviously open to the general public for anybody to use it, but it was just geared more, that was more the thought behind it, because not everybody can A, afford a gym, or B, even just mentally go into a gym and deal with the stress. And so we are doing that in Hampton Bays, so I'm fully supportive of this, whichever iteration it
Yeah.
takes.
Right. What do you think, Tommy?
Well,
Tom, John, you think
It's
something that
just the other two locations. Proposed location 2 was along the side of the park and where cars go by. We thought that was a little dangerous there.
Yeah.
And then location 3 was at the end on the north side, and we thought that would be like a little too far removed, perhaps. And so when we brought it to the community, they proposed location 1.
Right.
So if it's not a cost issue for the alternate, I think that's I'm certainly fine with it.
I could work
you know,
out whatever concerns there
Okay.
are with the curbing and.
Yeah, no, it's a county road.
Yeah,
and it's
well,
County Road 60, by
I
the
guess,
way.
yes, I should look into it before I
Yeah.
can commit to that, to make sure that we
Right, it
don't
does
have
have
to
to
do
make
anything that
sense, right.
requires their permission.
I do like the idea of closing it off to all vehicle traffic.
Yeah,
you
that would be definitely-
except for bikes. Because there are 5 other entrances to this park.
Yeah,
Two that
was
are
always
active.
the concern, was that people are always walking back and forth, and people were flying in and out of all these various entrances,
Mhm.
so.
And the walkers like the traffic coming in on either side. I know that's something that we did during COVID, and so we're going to keep it that way. I think this is a good addition.
Yeah, the one thing that I would add is if you don't put, even if we go with location 1, with the gym grass restoration, I think we should put some sort of pedestrian way, because people are gonna walk to the station and they're gonna trample over the gym grass if we don't. And that's kind of what you see at those other locations. People just, they pass the gates on the side and they create their own paths. So I think it makes more sense to have a controlled access regardless for pedestrians.
Yeah, that's why I figured to have a path, because I could see people walking.
Yeah, they're gonna walk.
But this is better, because if we find a lot of people using this, you might want to come back in a few years and put something else over here.
Right.
I'd also like to revisit the comments from the Noyak Civic Council too, and.
Yeah.
I'm thinking actually maybe what the thought was, and I don't know because I wasn't there. I don't know if Tommy John, if you're able to confirm this, but maybe the concern was the traffic on Long Beach Road that sometimes does get busy at, during, the morning and also dinner time hours. And they were concerned about bike riders going that way. That could have been.
But there's already
It's
a bike path.
lane.
Yeah, this bike, yeah.
I know, maybe, but the Civic may have expressed some concern about that. But I
Well,
do like
again,
the alternate.
Considering there's 6 entrances,
Yeah.
losing one to something like this
Is not a big deal.
Right.
yeah.
I like this one.
I agree.
Okay, so we do have a resolution on for our next meeting to, sign an agreement with you to move forward on this. Is the board okay with that, moving forward?
Yes.
Even though, we're changing this slightly, but we'll continue working
Yeah,
on
we'll
this.
confirm the details and
Like
update you.
Yeah, and
But
I'll co-sponsor it with you.
in the meantime, it'd be great, yeah, to get the agreement going.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, no matter what, if we can get the agreement going, we can start getting the materials that we need,
Mhm.
and getting everything in a row, and then we can dial in the details of exactly what we wanna do, as we find out. And maybe we'll talk to the Noyak Civic Council again and tell them what all of the board members said and kind of see if they are open to.
I'm confident they'll be happy.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
the good news is they're in favor of it.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of in favor of it,
That's good.
which is good.
one of the things that I've heard is some folks who are driving, they don't want to look at, an exercise area. But, I mean, the Civic Council looking at it, that's why I was thinking about a dune, that it would kind of enclose it, but
Yeah, and I think you still have that opportunity no matter what. There's
Mhm.
quite a dune grass restoration involved with all of them.
Right.
And we can add some topography there for you.
good. And so the resolution is actually Cindy's, was put on as lead sponsor, and you and I already co-sponsored it. So, it's 3 of
If
us.
you put snow fence up, you can make your own dune over
Right.
the winter.
Right.
I think you know how to do that.
Yeah, we know how to do it. Yeah. we got the right team.
What's the substance that's gonna be on around the exercise area?
So all be clean sand.
So it will be,
It will be
you're gonna be
sand.
walking in sand when you do pull-ups?
Yeah, that would be our, aesthetically, I think it's the best.
Mhm.
It's the most natural, and we have done them in sand before. That'd be our recommendation, rather than bringing in a new material like wood chips or
You'll
something
be-
like that.
We'll be fighting the sand forever because it comes off of the beach, with the winds, and it builds up on that side, so.
Maintenance is on us, right, ongoing.
Yeah, and I don't know how much maintenance there's going to actually be with the equipment itself. But are you saying the sand from the
When it
area?
blows.
From the beach in the wintertime when it's blowing 30 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, from the beach
There'll
side.
ultimately be
Right,
litter in it and things like that, but yeah, we'll have to. I think the lifeguards would take care of it in
Mhm.
season because I think this is something they'll want to use. They actually put their own up at some of the beaches in the summer, pull-up bars and things. So that's something we could kind of test them with at least seasonally. But yeah, there
it'll be
will be
part of the
maintenance
park.
involved. I mean, there always is, or somebody could vandalize something, or but I think that it's a good project.
I got just a quick thought. If you move this back like 10 feet or 8 feet and leave this sand right here, and
Right.
you make a small dune with a snow fence. Yeah, okay, like that. That would
Right.
catch the sand blowing what Tommy John was just saying.
Yeah, so it
You're
would
way ahead of
be nestled in.
Yeah, because that doesn't show it on here.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
So that would capture the sand.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't blow too much on it.
Yeah. We can mess with the actual siting of this.
Yeah.
Well, the surface is going to be sand.
Correct.
Right. So it's the indigenous sand, it's not,
Yes.
it's the.
Yeah. So sand blowing in it would not be an issue. It would
Okay.
actually
I thought it was a hot surface.
help it. Yeah.
Are
No.
you bringing any sand in?
So we're gonna have to because you're going to be losing 3,600 square feet of pavement. That actually was just paved over sand, but Mezineski suggested that it's like it's gonna be pretty gnarly sand, you know, it'd be better to just bring in clean sand as well,
Take down a
especially
couple
for the
inches.
dune grass restoration.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was actually dredge spoil that was put there in 1960 after Hurricane Donna.
There you go.
Yeah,
Right.
61, excuse me.
Yeah.
So I'll look into what's required for that too, because it's gonna have to be like the same grain size and type that's
Yes,
posting
yeah.
there, so.
Sounds
Wow.
great.
Thank you.
Drew, I want to thank
Really-
you and
really
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your work with this community. I know you're also working with the Village of Sag Harbor, and just for the town board's edification, we have a property in the Village of Sag Harbor that we own with the village as well as Suffolk County. So there's 3 of us who owns it, commonly known as Silly's Farm. And I know you're working with the Village of Sag Harbor to possibly do some trails in there. It's an 8-acre piece, and just to make that a little bit more useful for the community.
Yeah.
But that would be coming back to this board in some way, shape, or form if the village wants to move forward with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for all your work, Drew.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you
for
guys.
your
Appreciate
friends.
it.
For the other companies
Thanks,
that
Kristen.
donate their time, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you.
So,
What is she?
oh,
Oh, don't say it.
don't say it 3 times.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so nice. Somebody wants to donate. All right, well, that brings us to the supervisors and town council members liaison updates. Start down this end today. Tom and
Sure.
John?
Last night, I attended the Noyak Civic Council meeting, and the main topic of discussion there were pedestrian enhancements and traffic calming measures that the town is going to be installing there and getting public feedback. This is a sidewalk that would run along Noyak Road. Would be included in it would be bump outs as well as crosswalks, all designed to slow traffic down in the area. This was as per the request of the residents of Noyak. The average speed on that road is 36 miles an hour. So that means that half of the traffic is going faster than 36 miles an hour, and the speed limit is currently 30 miles an hour in that area. So, it gets a lot of traffic. It also gets 13,000 cars a day on average, according to the state of New York. So it's a well-traveled road, and we want to keep the traffic flowing, but we also want it to calm down in this residential area too. There are also a number of parks. One of them is Long Beach that we were talking about here. And to make it possible to walk from the heavily populated areas of Noyak to Long Beach is imperative too. But it also takes into consideration some work on some of the other intersections there. You might be familiar with Stony Hill and Noyak Road. There is a farm stand there called Serene Green. It is a very dangerous intersection there, and in order to pass pedestrians safely, there is a redesign portion of that intersection that is included with the project too. So we presented that, Nick Jimenez and I presented that to the Noyak Civic Council again for input, and they are supportive of the project. Of course, they have questions, but I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention as well.
So what's next on that? What's the next step?
Well, the next step is a kickoff meeting with the state of New York. As you know, we've received a $2.9+ million grant from the state of New York. So we are going to, Nick is actually going to be going off for a kickoff meeting with the state. They need information every step of the way. And as we develop this, we're going to be enfranchising the people of the community in the final planning of the sidewalk and traffic calming measures there.
Because we just have a conceptual plan, not a detailed design, right?
Right. It's not the final design. We have already surveyed the paved area in the right of way from Coves Avenue East. There's actually a sidewalk that comes out of the Sag Harbor system that's in the town of Southampton through the project area to Trout Pond, including the culvert of Trout Pond, which will be very useful because we do need to change that culvert out.
The Are you saying that the plan includes the repairs to the culvert
No.
at Trout Pond?
The survey
Oh,
included
the survey.
the culvert, because, that's step one. You have to,
Yeah.
find out what our property is, or, the right-of-way property, as well as where the pavement is. But this is traffic calming and pedestrian enhancements. It's, I know the highway superintendent is planning on paving Noyak Road, which is fantastic.
Half.
And half of Noyak Road, right. We'll see in the budget how that goes. I know it's a big
But it
ticket
won't
item.
interfere with the portion that's getting the
Right.
sidewalks.
Exactly. One of these areas where traffic is, really ramped up, and we believe that this will allow people to pass safely, or more safely, and also act to, calm traffic down in the area while moving it. We've also met with the county regarding the circle at Long Beach, which is owned by the county. Noyak Road is the town's. The circle area, it's really an engineered intersection. That is county property. So we have been meeting with Commissioner Bartha. Ann Welker has set this up with meetings with Commissioner Bartha and members of DPW. Bill Hillman and Alex Prego are well aware of this, and they're interested, I will say.
Good, because that
Yeah.
really needs to get looked
It
at.
does, and
adjusted.
I look forward to hearing what the highway superintendent has to say. I know he has ideas
He
as well.
does, yeah.
So good.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, Tom
I'm
and John.
glad it's
Welcome.
moving forward. Bill?
Yesterday, what was it? Wednesday, yesterday, myself and Marie and the committee met about the West Hampton Senior and Rec Center. And we got some plans, and we're gonna have another meeting next month, and hope to bring some rough drawings back to the board very
Yeah,
soon.
it's very preliminary right
Yeah.
now. They were just going
But it's
through
very
to make
exciting.
sure that they could fit parking in and
Septic.
septic. So don't think, we're not getting too far ahead of anything here. Once we have some conceptual designs, we'll bring them in and show the board.
And this is very exciting. This is what Bel Air looked like at 8:30 this morning.
Wow.
Beautiful. Boy, they really cleaned it out and,
Yes, and the next step is
Graded
to
it. wow.
to get the bulkhead built and to get some type of plans for a park.
Just
Which
very,
which-
low maintenance kind
Yes,
of
low
park.
maintenance, which we'll be doing in the very near future.
Well done.
Yeah.
Jackie Fenley talked about this at the CPF advisory board yesterday morning, and they were very excited about what's going on there.
Yeah, I think it's Jackie will help us with the
Yeah.
bulkhead, or not the bulkhead. I don't know. Will they be able to
Yeah.
help support?
Yeah,
the-
there's
Support
just some
the
repairs at
bulkhead,
the
the
bulkhead.
dredging, and some of the stuff for the Passion Park. She has COVID right now, so I've been talking to her on the phone a little bit about it. So once she gets better, we're going to start the next phase.
Yeah.
Try to push it along.
Well, I'm sure this is going to make the community very happy when
Yes.
they drive by.
Yes,
Thank you.
they won't recognize it.
Mm-hmm. I've just been working on the budget. Hope to present that very soon to everybody for your review and comments and input.
Is that it?
Yep, that's all for me.
This past weekend, I attended the San Gennaro Feast in Hampton Bays. It was very well attended. Lots of people were there. The Hampton Bays American Legion was there as well.
Nice weather too.
It was beautiful weather. Yeah, the community really lucked out. Also, I attended the Anti-Bias Task Force picnic. Had a little barbecue there. It was very nice. There was some dancing, some music. It was very nice. Also, yesterday we had our 6th Traffic Mitigation and Safety Task Force meeting. It was very substantive. We had a very packed agenda. We had a couple of things that we wanted to review the previous meeting that we had to carry over. So we really had to pack the agenda. But two of the main agenda items were the Logix cameras that the police department helped coordinate to provide some information to the task force about how the technology works. Assemblyman Thiel was on the call as well to discuss how the enabling legislation would work with the municipality. when you need the enabling legislation, when you don't need the enabling legislation. So that was very
cameras.
correct.
Mm.
So we learned a lot of information, and it was a, I think, based on the information and the community input that we've been garnering since we started the task force. A lot of the comments and concerns, as you know, Maria, sitting on the task force with us, has to do with speed. Even though there's congestion issues, that's a big issue. But speed is also a really big issue, and we think that the cameras may be a good way to sort of help us deal with that issue.
I
But
regret that I couldn't be there because of
That's
a
okay.
conflict in my schedule, but why don't you tell everyone how they can, find it, because I would like to watch it also. It's recorded,
yeah, it's
right?
recorded and it's on the town website, and if you also go to our CTV channel on YouTube, it's there as well. We also had Janice Shearer, our director of planning, present on the 2015 County Road 39 corridor plan that was published.
So that was
Because another concern that has been brought to the task force by the community, and by the way, the board, has to do with land use and zoning on County Road 39. We know that the county is doing their study, but we as the town do have the authority to look at the land use and how that works out. And Janice really reviewed some of the main goals of the 2015 plan and some of the things that we have been able to achieve with the plan, and some of the things that we still have yet to achieve that we haven't yet done. Two of those things that we want to look at specifically are the consolidation of driveways, curb cuts, and ensuring that there's cross access so we can reduce curb cuts on 39, and also looking at signage as well. So those are some of the things that we'll hopefully be re-examining at our next meeting. We don't have a date yet. We're still working that out. We're going to talk to the task force members and see what works for everybody. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Cindy?
Yesterday I had a meeting with Kim Labby from Hugs, Jamie Bowden, and Tracy from our youth services, and we discussed the Addiction Recovery and Behavioral Health Committee, which was basically formed as the Opioid Task Force. It's kind of morphed through to what it is now, and we kind of hit a point with the committee where we found we were meeting every month and it was pretty much the same agenda items, and without funding in a way and a mechanism to really drive change, the committee really wasn't doing much in the way of changing community perspectives and outcomes. And so to that end, we are really going to, yesterday I guess we decided we're going to take the next step forward to becoming a community coalition, which there'll be partners in, there's 12 different groups of individuals that will be involved in forming that coalition. So we are in the very, very early stages of that. We hope to basically get our grant started in January for submission by April, but that's what we're working towards with that committee now, because that will give us funding to then do programming to really hopefully change outcomes in the community. To that end, if anybody is wondering why the Big Duck and the town cupola are purple this month, it is National Recovery Month. I'm just going to read this about Recovery Month. Recovery Month celebrates the gains made by those in recovery, just as we celebrate health improvements made by those who are managing other health conditions, such as hypertension, diabetes, asthma, and heart disease. This observance reinforces the positive message that behavioral health is essential to overall health, prevention works, treatment is effective, and people can and do recover. I also wanted to bring to everyone's attention that Hugs is offering the third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. at Hugs on Mill Road in West Hampton Beach. They are doing free naloxone training. You don't have to register. You can just, if you find yourself in West Hampton Beach at 6 o'clock on the third Wednesday of any month, go in and they will be happy to train you and provide you with naloxone. So, yeah, and that's really all I have for today.
Thank you. Well, if that's it, then we need to go into executive session. So I move to go into executive session to discuss contracts and then close, and then we'll reconvene for a special town board meeting at 1.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.